So, Alice is having a terrible time getting free in Wonderland, even though she's in Wonderland, and we're in Wonderland. See, we're in Wonderland too. Now, what's spoiling Wonderland for Alice and us? Alice knows what all the rules are. And nobody is going along. Isn't it terrible? Doesn't that happen to you? We know exactly how things should be, and nobody's listening. We spend our lives listening to ideas, or making ideas, or creating things, when we could be free, see? We could be practicing being free. What is practicing being free? A walk in the woods, listening to a leaf, talking to somebody, without outcome, without point. Where are we going? Nowhere. Where did Bodhidharma go? Nowhere. So, to the emperor, his life is like being on a train, huh? He's getting on this train to Buddhism. It's the Buddhist train, kind of like Cat Stevens' peace train. We're getting on the Buddhist train, right? We're going somewhere. Alice, too, is going somewhere. All the characters around Alice keep saying, stop trying to get it, stop trying to change us. Stop trying to change everybody around you. See? And Ken said to me, stop trying to beat your opponent. Play with the flow of the board. Enjoy yourself, Daniel. What are you playing this stupid game for if you don't enjoy it? See? What are we living for if we don't enjoy it? To find out the point. What was that? Any of you read, it was this very funny science fiction series made into a movie, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, where they have a computer working out what the point is, and finally comes up with that the point is which number?
42.
42, okay? So for those of you who must know what the point is, they figured it out. 42 is the point, okay? Now can we stop? Now, this is a beautiful book, by the way, and as it's going on, there's sort of like little notes, and what this is it's kind of like making funny, insulting comments about what's going on. To explain it, I refer often to like more like sort of like, well, anyway. When I was a kid growing up, I grew up in the city, and it was like the inner city. You always like ragged the other people, you know, like the answer to almost everything was your mother. Yeah, it was like, you know, your mother wears combat boots, or you know. The Chinese have a similar sense of humor. They're always kind of like, the masters are kind of like picking on each other. So when Emperor Wu asked the great master Bodhidharma, the note is, this dull fellow speaks up. What is the highest meaning of the holy truths? What a donkey tethering stake this is. Now that's a very important one. The emperor, I don't need this, the emperor is asking, what is the highest meaning of the holy truths? And Secho, I think it is, who's commenting, says, what a donkey tethering stake that is. A donkey tethering stake is something you take a donkey and you tie him to a stake so that he can't move. So he's saying that what the emperor is trying to do is get the point. And once he has the point, he can stick to the point like glue. And he's saying that takes away your whole freedom because you're stuck like a donkey to a point, to the point. See? Why tie yourself to a stake? We live in the middle of a universe where there's a billion worlds. We don't know what's out there. We don't know where we are. What could possibly be the point? Now, let's look at the other side. We'll have a few more minutes. Life beyond the point. I like that. What is life like beyond the point? We tend to be very entitled. Something I remember more consciously this year. My father died last year, and I had a wonderful father, and I've consciously, this may sound strange, but I've consciously lately taken on the idea of continuing who he was. I hadn't had time to think about that, but it's something I want to do. I do it anyway. I mean, he put his mark on me. But now I do it consciously more, right? And my father was in a concentration camp and a gulag, both. He was a sucker for punishment. It wasn't his idea, though. That's the problem. If some of you studied World War II, he was in a famous camp called Buchenwald. And I used to say to him, "Dad, how are things going?" And he says, "Since Buchenwald, everything has been uphill." And he was like that. See, he no longer, after those experiences, took very much for granted. And he, even before that, like he told me that they were so poor and that your birthday present would be an orange. It was something to say for like the whole time. It was like heavenly to have an orange. And we're so entitled. We think we deserve so much. We think we should have so much. We think we should get so much. What is life without a point? Well, life without a point is feeling that we don't deserve anything, that everything's a gift. See, what if you did that a little bit more, right? What if your spouse or your girlfriend or your boyfriend was a little bit more of a gift and a little bit less of they had to do everything you wanted? Right? But that their very existence was a gift. That you appreciate a little bit more the way they do something for you or the way they smile or what they do for someone else. What if we were a little bit open? What if life was the point, see? And then our relationship would be to appreciate it. And stop looking for a point just so we can be right. The point's going on all the time. The band's playing all the time, every moment of your life. If you want a point, is the point. There's no need for more point. We're getting more points than we could ever get. And this is what these people realized.